I'm here to tell you, you're brilliant. Come on, your life's about to be magical. You're about to do something more amazing. Clap your hands if you actually believe that. Say believe, expect, receive, become. Say release. Everywhere you go, to your family, all over this world, we are going to release miracles to this world.
Okay, guys, I have Tim Storey here, one of my favorite people in the whole world. You know how much I love you, right?
Real brothers.
Yeah, and when did we meet, Tim? When was the first time we met?
I think it's been almost 6 years. Yeah, about 6 years. And the first time I came to this office. And what I loved about you is that you embraced me as just two people dialoguing.
Yeah.
We never knew that we'd become such great friends and do projects together.
Yeah.
But thanks for just being so open and embracing me at
sure.
that time.
You know, in my life, I meet people from time to time that just really touch me, and you're one of those people. And I was doing your podcast, I guess, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. You always like touch me as a person that. I don't know, man. It's just something special. I think people meet people from time to time in their life, and they're like, I think I saw you speak on, was it our stage?
On your stage, yeah.
And I didn't really know who you were at the time.
No, you didn't.
You know, I knew you were the comeback guy. And
Yeah.
that you had worked with all these celebrities.
But you took a chance, and that's what I loved but I think you followed your heart. I think part of our connection is a heart connection where we care about people.
Yeah.
And also we understand what it's like to be raised in hardship. You know, the way you were raised, the way I was raised.
Yeah.
And that so we both appreciate what life has given us. Yeah.
You grew up in Compton,
California.
Yeah. What was that like?
It was a lot of chaos. And so what happened is that we had 7 people in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Wow.
That is so cramped. And the reality is you didn't know where you're going to sleep. So it's not like we had designated rooms. It just like you just kind of slept places. And so there was a lot of disorder. You
were the youngest or the oldest?
I am
where
the
were you?
youngest by far.
Oh, wow.
So the youngest by almost 4 years. So I was the
And
youngest.
were you a planned kid or?
No, I was an unplanned kid.
Yeah, I was an unplanned kid too. You never been asked that question, huh?
Never in my life.
I was unplanned.
I was unplanned, so unplanned that they didn't really know what to do with me, and my aunt basically took care of me for the first couple of years. But no, so I call it birthed in pain. So I had a lot of hardships early, but I always had a strong sense of humor. I was always like thinking creative things and thinking big in small places. Grant, I knew I wasn't gonna stay stuck. Somehow I knew I was gonna get out. Yeah.
But you didn't know how.
Didn't know how at all.
Were you uncomfortable? Were you like, were you dissatisfied?
I was totally dissatisfied. And when I got more dissatisfied is when I went to school and this kid had these pants and it said Levi's. And I had seen a commercial like that. So then I had said to my mother, I said, Mom, they got these things called Levi's, they got a commercial. And she goes, no, those are not for us. And then I saw another kid that had Converse.
Were these white kids or were
These are
that had the Levi's?
No, yeah, these are white kids. Okay. So then I said, I would like these Converse. No, we don't get things like that. So now I started to realize that I was put in some type of category that I could see it, but I could never, in her mind, get it.
Yeah, and your mom's the one that was putting you in the category.
Exactly. She put me in the category.
Yeah.
The category is you can see it. So I call it the sight of something. And you have the sight of it, but most people
can't have it.
Can't have it.
Yeah, you can't have
Which is the worst thing. That's the worst thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of people are right now with where the world is. And I just want to say this. I think you're doing an amazing job of helping people through this crisis. We're in a damn crisis that we've never seen before, never felt before, never had the emotions to deal with this kind of thing. And you are helping people through a crisis, and you would say, how? Because you're maintaining your standard. See, when you're in a crisis, it's very tempting to bring your standard down. let's just be okay. Let's go back to the land of okay. That's not what Grant Cardone is.
So let me ask you, what is the crisis, first of all? What do you think the crisis is right now? It started out as COVID,
Yeah.
shutting the country down, the masks, the toilets, the toilet paper rush. And now we're into protest. And
Yes.
so what is the current crisis?
Okay, so to me, COVID-19 was the exposure of the state of mankind, which was not good before COVID-19. And I think you would agree with this. I think that in the world, we became a bunch of what I call human doings instead of human beings.
I've been accused of being a human doing.
Yeah, but I also think that you are such a human being because I know your wife, your children. I see how you treat your family. You are in the moment when you're around them. But I believe, because I travel the world was moving at such a damn fast pace that they didn't even know where they were going. Okay? So they were just moving and moving and moving and moving and moving. And listening to a lot of silly people. See, back in the day, there were just a couple voices that we used to hear. Okay? But today, because of social media, you could hear one silly person after another.
Yeah,
Right?
thousands, millions.
Okay, millions.
Yeah.
And so I feel like there were so many silly voices out there, people were going to silly places. And I think COVID-19 exposed where the hell are you going? And it just stopped people. And once they had to stop and get quarantined, they didn't know how to handle being still. Being still is a very difficult thing if your mindset is not correct.
So the crisis hits.
Crisis hits.
Okay, because I think that you did not, maybe, I don't know, we've never even talked about this, but like the way I responded to it immediately, I don't know that you approved of that. Like, I think, Grant, that's not the take over the world, Grant. Can you talk about that? What was your response to the way I handled this immediately, which was let some people go, told the world I'd close the department, let some people go, hey guys, this is a crisis. This is going to be ugly. I mean, I had a real kind of like...
I wanted to come here and say, what are you thinking? That was my first reaction. And I'll tell you why. Because
I know, because I heard something from you. You said to me, you're like, hey Grant, people need to see your leadership right now.
Yes.
And I thought that had another message underneath it, which was...
And it did.
Yeah.
Because I love you so much, and I thought to myself that, in a time where people are in dire straits, somebody needs to do three things. Guide, which is direction. Guard, which is protection. Govern, which is administration. So to me, Grant Cardone is those three G's. Uncle G is those three G's.
Yeah, that's funny. That's
Guide,
that's my new
direction. Guard, protection.
G3.
Govern
is
administration. G3.
Okay. G cubed.
Yeah. So my point was, damn. Okay.
Because I came out hard, dude.
Grant.
I came out hard. I'm like, hey guys, we're getting ready to go to an ugly, ugly place right here.
Okay. But in reflection, I now like it. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you showed a vulnerable side that we're not used to, and then you took that in.
Yeah.
You took some time to breathe, and then you shook it off, and then you rose up. Now watch this quote. You'll like this quote.
Yeah.
The real you will always make a demand on the you that you've become. There are times in your life and my life where we didn't act like ourselves, but the real person inside of us said, damn it, Grant, rise up. Or to me, Tim, rise up, damn it. You may have gone through this or whatever
that's
happened.
when you were told you couldn't have the Converse. You're
Exactly.
like, I can have that.
Yeah, so rise up.
Right.
So at first, when you responded like that, I needed you to guide, guard, and govern. So I'm like, don't become undone when this is your time.
Yeah, but
to rise.
I was actually,
Okay.
See, this is the confusing part for me, right? Because everybody's like, we want the vulnerable Grant. All right, good. Let me show you the vulnerable Grant.
Okay.
And at that moment, it was like I didn't really have a choice to be vulnerable or not. When something gets such an unknown, compressed, problematic, right? So much counterintention on where I was trying to go. We were just coming off the best year we ever had.
Yeah, just amazing.
Beautiful growth conference.
The conference was out of this world.
You know, I'm walking into this other project that I know is going to be a big hit. And then boom, it all gets pulled out from underneath me. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm transparent.
Yeah.
You know, I fly in on the plane, people see it. You know, well, I got to tell them, hey, there's problems here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to guide people by telling them the truth.
Okay.
And I could feel half my audience is like, that's not what I want you for.
Yeah.
You know, it was almost like I imagine a rapper or a musician, they do this hit song and everybody just wants that one song from them over and over again.
This is good. I like this.
You know, and I was like, hey guys, this country, your family, your community is about to get the biggest economic ass whipping of generations.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get it too.
Yeah.
So I was guiding. Here's what's going to happen. Okay.
Yes.
Then I'm guarding. Hey, I need to kill that department. I got to let go of those people. I had to withhold on distributions to our investors.
Yeah.
Like I made all these really, really difficult decisions and showed people.
Okay. I now see that and now agree.
Yeah.
But you got to see our point. It's almost like if your father was very present. Okay. And you're used to seeing your father come in the house and he's present. Okay?
Yeah.
And then you see your father and he's down or we may be in trouble, you know, that kind of idea.
Right.
So I think,
and maybe I shouldn't have shared that. Maybe like
I think in hindsight that the thing I loved about your growth, because you're evolving. You really are.
I hope so.
you're growing, man.
Yeah.
You're evolving, but I think that's why life has just gone ding and just put something on you. Like, you know, we won't get into who I'm with this week, but he was even dialoguing with you about you. All my different friends that I life coach, they dialogue about you. Well, what's he really like? Life touched you and put you in a certain spot. Now, I think maybe it's unfair of us sometimes to say, damn it, Grant, act like we want you.
I want the old Grant.
Yes.
I do that old dance.
Yes.
But you see, like when you talk about the dad, like I can relate to that because I know there's certain things I don't need to show my kids.
Yeah.
They don't need to see, you know. So when you said, hey, you know, the dad walks in, he's not present now. He's a little depressed, he's down, he's worried, he's stressed, whatever. Should the dad bring that home to the kids? And, you know, in retrospect, should I just been the rah-rah guy and say, no, we're going to be fine. We're going to get through this. Look, I I go to such a dark place.
Yeah.
It probably what drives me. You and I were talking about this. Like,
of course.
Like, you know, competition is such a threat for me.
Yeah.
I grew up with a twin. We shared for 9 months. We shared the same freaking juices and minerals and space. So like for me, like I need to get mine. I want my Converse.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know, I want my life more than the Converse, more than the stuff. I want my life and my identity.
Yeah. So, but by knowing you, see, I believe that in the midst of a crisis, which that we're in a crisis.
Yeah.
Okay. From the way people were acting, like I talked about before, just going nowhere fast, and then COVID-19, and then we have the George Floyd incident that takes place that goes from protest to onward. Okay.
Yeah.
And it hits the world.
Yeah.
But I do know this about you. You know we're coming through. You're coming through and I'm coming through.
Yeah.
And we can take people with us. We're coming through. Because life delivers its deliverers. We're deliverers. I don't know how this happened to us, but people look to you to help get them to raise up. That's why I could be on the street with you and people are screaming your name. You never knew that was going to happen in high school.
Dude. I was trying to get people not to call my name in high school. He did it.
Exactly.
He did it, you know. So what crisis are we in right now? Okay, you talked about COVID,
Yeah.
George Floyd. Like I forgot about George. I mean,
Yes.
just to be, now I know I'm going to get some, I can't say anything right now. There's
Yeah.
nothing I can say.
Okay, so the
So
crisis
as a
we're
black
in-
man,
Yes.
okay, yeah, I guess you're black.
I'm black.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
You got so much Beverly Hills on you, I can't tell anymore. So
Yeah.
what is, I'm a little lost about what I can say and not say. What can I like?
Yeah. I think the key for everybody is to be authentically themselves. So if you were raised,
Do you think people can actually be authentically themselves and say what they want to say right now?
not say what they want to say.
No, I can't say what I want to
No,
say.
but be authentically themselves. So if they're a white person from Iowa and they were raised in a certain way, then don't try to be hip hop or understand all of hip hop or how we all think, because that's unfair for us to try to change you. Here's what I want to say. There's prejudice against everybody. There's prejudice against chubby people.
Yeah.
There's prejudice against gays.
Yeah.
There's prejudice against everybody. So I have my own stories of how people treated me like shit for being black. But you got your own stories how people treated you like crap
100%
for being you.
For being whatever. We were brought up Italian,
Exactly.
and so my mom used to tell me, look, never use the word dago and never use the word wop.
Yeah.
Ever. And if you hear anybody use it, you just go the other way.
Yeah.
Because those were derogatory terms about Italian people.
Okay, so we're in a crisis, but here's my little action steps. Okay?
I need some action.
So my action steps are
But what crisis are we talking about right now?
So here's the crisis. The crisis is so much is hitting us at one time. We're used to softball problems. Remember softball?
Yeah,
Here we
one
go.
pitch at a time.
One pitch at a time. Boom. No, not this time.
Now it's like all these balls coming at us at one time.
Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. They're just coming at one time. So people need to just stop for a second. Stop. Number two, they need to take inventory. This is where you're great. You got to take inventory. Okay, there's my kids. There's my wife. Here's my businesses.
Yeah.
You got to stop.
Yeah.
You got to take inventory.
Yeah, I like that.
Number three, you got to remember your principles. See, this is where Grant Cardone rocks that I know that other people don't pick up on. You are a principled guy. You have principles. Like I just spoke to your staff, okay? I speak to a lot of staffs. I mean, I could go on and on and on from this guy to that guy, that guy, that, okay? Your staff is on fire, okay?
Yeah, well, it's that meeting.
You do this meeting and everybody comes in, they got to look at each other, and you're teaching them principles, okay? So you're a principle guy. So it's the principles that are going to get you into something and also out of something, okay? So you stop, you take inventory, go back to your damn principles. Go back to the principles, and that's what you're doing. You're going back to, okay, what made me Grant Cardone? Go back to those principles and start to walk those things out again.
Yeah, so some of that is transparency and me just saying what I want to say.
Okay.
Okay, so now when I say what I want to say,
Yeah.
like I started getting hamstrung.
Okay.
Like I did this thing where I'm like, hey guys, I'm gonna pledge $1 million. We're gonna teach kids of color.
It's a lot of money.
$1 million. I have the money.
a
I
lot of
funded
money.
the money. I already funded the project, and we have the systems in place to
Wow.
go educate using online programming to teach kids about money. Now, I throw this out there. I'm going to help disadvantaged kids of color in inner cities. Okay, I get people hitting me. What about white kids that are disadvantaged?
Yeah.
What about Hispanics? I said kids of color. I have a color. This is a color. Okay,
Yeah.
white is a color. Black is a color. Brown
Yes.
is a color. But I don't even want to explain all this.
You don't need to because
And then on the flip side of that, Tim, and this is what I need your help with, is like, I know there's black men and women in the community that know me and know who I am and what I do, that want to help me and want to get behind it, but I don't think they feel like they can because I'm white.
I'm hearing you. Okay. So number one, because of knowing you and observing you, number one, your staff is all races.
You see that when you
I
walk
just
in there.
spoke to them. They're coming from everywhere.
See, but I walk in a room.
Okay.
I walk in my room. Somebody asked me today, how many black people do you have on your staff? I'm like, I don't know. No clue, dude. I've never counted it.
Yeah.
How many women do I have on my staff? How many brown? I don't see it, but you walked in
Yes.
and you actually
I saw
assessed
it.
that.
I assessed it.
See, I don't have those eyes.
Okay, so let me tell you another thing I see.
And I think this is the conversation that people need to start having. Like,
Yes.
I don't look. I didn't know you would.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Now that I know you are, now
Yeah.
that I know a black man walks in, my meeting, my
And-
friend,
and
Tim
watch-
Storey,
and
my
watches.
friend, and you're still actually taking a little bit of an inventory on me.
Yes.
Who is this dude really?
Yes. I feel like I know you, but I'm still watching.
You're still watching, right? So that's cool to know. But now,
Yeah.
now that I know you do that, because I didn't know you did that.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm like, hey man, should I be hiring more black people just for the optics? Because I do want people to like me and do business with me.
But here's what I think.
Yeah.
You are going to manifest who you really are. People always
yeah.
say, man, I wish I could read their mind. No, you don't need to. Just be around a person. They're finally going to talk.
Yeah. Their actions.
Yes. Okay. So here's your actions. Oakland, California was full of Hispanic and black folks.
Yeah, totally, man.
There were white folks, but you had a lot of Hispanic and black
yeah.
folks. Okay.
Place was packed.
Yeah. Standing room only. Place after place on your last tour was people from all walks of life. You give it the same energy, same love.
Yeah, you're
they're,
right.
They're screaming Uncle G.
Yeah, you're right.
So my point is, you are authentically being you, who is a lover of people.
Yeah.
You give a damn about people. That's why, in my opinion, I watched Kevin Hart really like you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
more than
yeah.
an interview.
Yeah.
He was doing an interview and then he leaned into you. Like,
yeah,
okay, like,
yeah.
okay, this brother, he's paying attention.
Yeah.
Same with Magic Johnson. Same with Steve Harvey. Same with the boxer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mayweather. Yeah.
They all leaned into you.
Yeah.
Now, why is that? Because at that point, Grant.
All men of color, by the way.
Yeah, at that point, we're not seeing color, we're seeing heart. We're seeing heart. And so I think that's where, as your friend, where I want to see you continue to lead is lead with heart.
Yeah.
You need to lead with heart because you have answers.
Yeah, I know. It's just so, man, today it's so hard because my heart doesn't speak.
Yeah.
My mouth does.
Yeah.
And I don't, you said to me about Randy Jackson saying, oh, dude, I love that interview you did with that guy.
Oh, yeah.
I've never liked him before that.
No, he didn't say he didn't like you. He didn't know you.
Whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So whatever. So
He didn't know you were like that.
he didn't know I was likable.
Probably. Yeah.
Because I don't spend any energy
Yeah.
trying to be likable.
Yeah.
Because every time I do, like when I was growing up in high school, I grew up in the middle class. You grew up with nothing.
Right.
I think the way I grew up was more painful than the way you grew up because I grew up in the middle class and had the Converse and the Levi's.
Okay.
And then I lost it all. I went backwards.
I think that would be worse.
I had stuff
Yeah.
and couldn't keep it.
Okay.
You didn't have anything
That's a
and
good
wanted
point.
it.
That's a good
You
point.
know?
I agree with you.
Because once
That'd
you
be
taste
worse.
it, once you fly private, you're like, God dang, dog. I
Yeah.
gotta, I don't ever want to sit on a damn commercial flight. Now that sounds snooty
Yeah.
but until you've done it,
Yes.
like it,
I have to say this, that I do think you need to be more measured sometimes.
yes.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah. But okay, now watch what happens now.
Okay.
When I'm more measured
Okay.
and I'm starting to think about optics, oh, what's the world? And I take another second to
Yeah.
say it,
Yeah.
or day, then I'm not me anymore.
I think you still are you. Okay. Like,
And then I need a teleprompter.
you see the gorilla?
Yeah.
See, the gorilla, he could be strong 1 minute, right? You said,
Yeah.
and be delicate another.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes
And he takes a lot of naps too.
yeah, sometimes be the strong Grant.
Yeah.
But there's times that in a volatile situation, then you got to be more delicate, if I could say it that way.
Yeah.
Because we're living in times.
it's
what
so-
the crazy thing is, Grant, is that to think that people are holding on your words. I mean, I got interviewed by a guy from Eastern Europe last week, and all he wanted to talk about is my connection to Grant Cardone.
Oh wow.
Okay,
That's crazy.
so my point is, this thing became worldwide. Okay, so worldwide they're watching you.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes you may feel something, but you say, okay, thinking of the gorilla.
Yeah, yeah.
Am I the guy that just goes boom?
Yeah, yeah.
Or am I the guy
right.
that goes,
Yeah.
shit, this world is in trouble.
Yeah.
I need
Let me
to
take a
really
second.
measure
Yeah.
my words here.
Right, right.
Because the words you say, they're going to take them and run with them.
Yeah.
Like I just heard Grant, and even he's in a panic.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you.
Well, because out of context.
Right.
See, you're just seeing it in the moment.
Exactly.
You don't know I'm making moves.
Exactly.
You know, I'm just telling people, hey, this is what I'm going. I can't tell you what's going to happen in the future. I don't know that yet.
Yeah.
I was just sharing with the public, hey, this is going to be ugly. It's still going to be ugly, by the way.
Yes.
We're in this moment of la la land right now.
I agree.
It's like the tsunami came in.
Yeah.
And then there's this whatever's going on right now.
Yeah, but still, we need you to take us to the storm.
Yeah.
This would take me 1 minute to tell you, but you'll like this.
Yeah.
I've been watching this George Washington documentary on the History Channel. They said in his 20s, he was losing wars. In his 30s, he was losing wars. About his mid-40s, he started to figure it out. But one thing about him is that he still rode high on that horse, whether he was winning or losing. And so whenever you see the picture of Washington, he always looks like he's winning.
Yeah.
Even though he was losing some wars.
Yeah. Well, history's kind.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So my thing with you is that we need you to ride high on the horse.
Yeah, but then you say you want me to be vulnerable, dude.
I want
Because
yes.
then see the complication?
Yes.
You don't. I don't really think people want me riding high. They want to see. Oh, I want to see Grant losing too.
Yeah.
That's why that bankruptcy video did so well.
Yeah.
Because people want to see me go down. They want to see people not win. They want to say, "Oh yeah, I told you so." It's like being at a wedding and there's 400 people there. You know, I know.
Okay.
I know 380 people out of that 400 are saying,
I like our talks.
I wonder if they're going to make it. I wonder if they're going to make it.
I like our talks because I agree with what you just said.
Yeah.
Because it's probably because I think positive. I want to see you ride high on a horse, but that doesn't mean someone else does.
Well,
So I see your point.
But you also want to see me take an arrow to see that I am vulnerable and I do bleed.
Yeah.
You know, and so for me, I'm like this thing that's going on right now. The kids pulling down statues. You brought up George Washington.
Yeah.
George Washington, based on what's going on right now with this cancel movement.
Oh yeah.
George is going to be taken off the dollar bill.
Yeah.
And Andrew Jackson will be taken off the 20.
Yeah.
And it will not change anybody's financial situation.
Yeah.
So I'm telling these kids, hey man, build, don't burn. Okay? Lead, don't loot. Like you are not going to get anything tearing stuff down. It has never, ever worked in history.
Yes.
You end up with less and they end up with more.
Yes.
And so what would you tell kids today about the protests, the looting and the burning the statues?
I think the protests in a positive way have pushed the country forward many times, whether it be protesting wars, women's protests. There's all types of protests that have taken place, which means I protest what's going on. But the protest that lose its meaning is when we get in trouble. And I think that sometimes people are out there in the middle of a protest and they don't even understand what they're protesting against. Okay, but can I go back to Grant being vulnerable for a second?
Yeah. But I just want to be sure you're willing to handle this other topic because it's so hot.
Okay.
You know.
Yes. Okay. All right. So one thing I'm vulnerable, and then back to the other topic.
Yeah. Sure.
I'm liking where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Because what you are saying to me is, okay, Tim, you want me to ride high. And I gotta admit I do.
Riding high.
Yeah, I want you to ride high because
you want me to win.
Yeah, because
10x, Mr. 10x.
Well, I came in in an Uber, and the guy's from Cuba that drove me. He's been here 1 year.
Yeah.
He pulled up, saw the van with your picture, and said, "I know that guy."
Wow.
Okay. He's the Uber driver from Cuba.
It's insane, dude. It's insane. Like
Okay, so
It's crazy.
So
Like we're in Publix. We're in Publix. Me and my kid are in Publix the other day. There had to be 10 or 12 people that knew me there. It's like, how do these? Oh, everybody's got YouTube.
So don't get mad at me for wanting you to ride high.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So let's.
But you tell me
to be vulnerable.
to be vulnerable.
Yes.
And riding high in my white outfit with my little stripes on, always looking good, with my hat on.
Okay, this is a good conversation.
That's not vulnerable.
This is a good conversation.
You're not going to see any pictures of George Washington on his horse vulnerable.
You're right. It's
because history's kind. But in the moment,
one reason this is a great conversation is because everybody that's watching, their minds are just going. Because what you face and what I face about this being vulnerable in the midst of the crisis is what they're facing as well. Like, how much should I expose of how I feel or don't feel? Okay? So let's go back to the crisis just for a moment.
Yeah.
Okay? It is going to take some leaders who guide, guard, and govern. Okay? It's going to take some leaders. So I'm glad that you're doing your part, which you're still teaching us about real estate.
Yeah.
You're teaching us about money. You're teaching us how to handle money, right? You're also going into inner cities and building up and helping people to be educated financially. So, you're doing your part. You're guiding, you're guarding, you're governing. So I love that. Mm-hmm. So you do your part, because your part's not small. Your part has a domino effect.
Yeah, I'm like, these kids, my advice to these kids is, look, don't burn a city down, buy it.
Yeah.
In 1930, I've told this story a couple times now, but I didn't know this. But in 1930, if you were Jewish, you could not come to Miami Beach. We're on Miami Beach right now.
Yes.
You could not come here.
I didn't know that.
The restaurants had sayings. All views, no Jews. 1930.
Wow,
1930.
wow.
Now, the Jews didn't come burn stuff down.
Yeah.
What did they do? They organized.
Yeah.
And they bought Miami Beach.
That's very powerful.
They bought it.
Very powerful. Very powerful. Yes.
I'm like, guys, what are you doing? Look at history.
Yes.
Okay? You're burning down where your mother lives.
Yeah, so I
know you're frustrated. I know you're frustrated. And I know this. My twin brother, we grew up, we were both with one mother.
Yeah.
No dad, no guidance.
Yeah.
Guard,
govern.
Yeah. My mother guarded me, but she couldn't guard. How do you guard a 15-year-old? You're 4'11", single mother, scared to death. And you got two kids, not one, two freaking wild little 10X dudes.
Yeah.
Okay. So my brother calls me the night New York was burning.
Wow.
When Bloomingdale's, their core store.
Yeah, the flagship
store. Yeah.
Yeah.
He calls me up. So I was thinking about calling him. Like, me and him take pisses at the same time.
Yeah.
Still today. Okay?
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, you taking a leak right now? He's like, no, I just went. I said, damn it. I was thinking about it. It didn't go. So he calls me and says, are you watching the news right now? I said, yeah. He's like, if you and we had no criticism of the kids doing this.
Yeah.
If you and I were in New York City tonight and we were 17 years old, Grant, what do you think we'd be doing? I said, I would loot the place. I would break every window and then I would burn it to the ground.
Yeah.
And he's like, exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Two white kids, brought up middle class. We were lost. We were angry.
Yeah.
We were angry we didn't have any guidance.
Wow.
We were angry that we didn't have a direction. I was bored, man.
Yeah.
And it would have had nothing to do with, by the way, Black Lives Matter. Mm-hmm. It would have had nothing to do with George Floyd. It would have had something to do with my frustration, my anger at myself, and I would have burnt that Bloomingdale's to the ground.
Yeah.
And so I understand those kids doing what they're doing.
Yes.
But I also know it ends up setting you back.
Yes.
It doesn't advance your game.
Okay, so.
And the game is buy that real estate.
Yes, and that's what you're teaching us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're in a crisis.
But how can I teach that if they're like, oh, he's a white guy?
Well, I think what's happened.
I need you as my front man.
I think so. Well, the reality though is that anybody who pays attention, because some people just don't get it. They're not going to just read the look of a person. They're going to read the heart. And again, as I go back to the Kevin Hart interview, there were so many moments that you guys were just gelling as like two brothers. Mm-hmm. Okay, I've seen a lot of his interviews and he doesn't do that. He was leaning into you because he felt your heart.
Mm-hmm.
One reason I'm so close to you is I felt acceptance from you. Not as, I didn't think like, ooh, that rich white guy likes me.
Yeah, and I've never ever until today referred to you as a black man. That's when I said, "Are you black?"
Yes.
I didn't know what is Tim Storey, black, Hispanic,
Yes.
a mixture combination.
My father's black and my mother's from Spain.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So you are a combination.
Yeah.
But who isn't a combination?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And we all got blue blood, man.
Yeah.
The blood blue
But again,
until you tap.
if I could go back to the idea of your heart
Yeah.
is a thing that moved me on just how you are with people. Because I just see you, as busy as you are, you're talking to the guys that are working. As busy you are as 10X, guys, hey Grant, just a quick photo.
Yeah.
And you're doing it.
Yeah.
You're not thinking color, nothing.
Yeah.
You just,
Yeah.
your heart is leading you.
Yeah.
And the beauty of this, let's say, you know how they have these polls and they say the president, they only like him at 36% or something. My opinion is that if they polled about how people like you, it's so high. It's so much higher than you think.
Yeah.
Your haters it's a very small group.
Yeah, probably.
I promise you. I know that. I know that because I'm out there.
Yeah.
I'm out there and I hear it. So I'm glad that you.
Well, I'm just glad I'm friends with you and that you can, bring some sanity to my world. And I know you're doing that for a lot of people right now. I know you're doing down here, doing this thing with this big shot down here. And you have a unique ability to see inside the true intentions of a person.
Thank you.
And that's a real gift.
And I do see your true intentions, and I'm going to tell you right now, you're going nowhere but up. The next,
See, he always does this.
The next 4 years.
He always sends it right.
The next
He
4
always
years
sends
for
it right
you
here.
are going to be amazing. Where you're headed.
Yeah.
Because what's happened, when you start to mentor people and they start to get it, they start to rise up in that same thing and they start to push us forward. So even as we get slightly older, I see the crew around you, they're going to start pushing you even into a deeper place. The next 4 years are going to be good for you. You're going even bigger worldwide. I told you before you started on the tour overseas, I said, Grant, worldwide for you is going to be next level. I'm telling you, the world is waiting for your message.
Yeah, real quick, because you've done a lot of traveling. So now
75 countries.
75 countries. Okay, I've only done, I think, 19 or something. So I got some traveling to do. Favorite country? If you had to only pick one, you can only pick one.
Okay. Let me breathe this in for a minute.
Favorite country?
Favorite country.
What'd you run through your head right there?
I went to Italy.
Okay.
I went to Italy because I think Italy blew me away of
The
these
people, dude.
of these the restaurants and late at night and
the cappuccinos.
The cappuccinos and
Done perfectly.
the feeling of life.
Yeah.
I felt a lot of ease to the point where I'd
and they're
almost like
suffering, man. Italy's been suffering for years, not just the COVID thing.
economically. Yes.
Because it's got an aging population.
Yeah. Italy. How about you?
Okay, no, not me. Favorite city?
Favorite city? I'm gonna stick with Italy. I'm gonna go to Rome.
Are you going to Rome?
Yeah, but I got to stay in a nice hotel.
Yeah.
This hotel it was by the Spanish Steps, and
I know that hotel. That's called the.
I was in that one.
What's it called?
Whatever it was, I was in it.
Tell you, what's the great hotel the in Rome, the Italian Steps?
Yeah. Well, what happened? Here's what happened. A very wealthy man from South Africa hired me to meet with his staff. So I went to Rome with this guy and some of his team, and I met with them and I life coached them, and they put me in an amazing room there. And so I got to see Rome through those eyes.
Yeah. That definitely makes a difference.
That did something to me.
Okay, now favorite place you've ever been to? Not a city, not a country, but a trip, like a trip that you remember.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you, because a kid from Compton who would never think that he'd see this, I enjoy safaris. So I fly into Joburg, Johannesburg,
wow.
and then
I've
I
never
go
been
into
there.
these safaris, but I stay at these really amazing places, okay? And for me to be out in the bush and see these doggone, zebras just flying by, and seeing lions move, and
Wow.
that kind of changed my life, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love safaris.
Because what happened? What happened there?
It was like it was a dream come true, because I remember as a kid that didn't have much money, I used to love to watch these things on animals. Okay, and to now be out there and being able to view it myself was just it was a dream come true. It was surreal.
So if you were an animal, what animal would you be?
I'd definitely be a lion.
Oh, really?
A good one too.
A good lion.
I'd be a male lion.
A male?
I'd be a male. Even
Which
though
one does the hunting?
It's a female.
Yeah.
The females will whoop you, but I want to roar.
Yeah. So I'm looking for that hotel in Rome, because I know.
Is it the Grand Melia?
No.
But this hotel, you understand that it was just next level. Everything they did for you was just at next level.
How important is it for the people watching right now
Yes.
to have those experiences?
Those experiences.
Because everybody tells me, "Oh man, that's not important." I'm like, "Dude, you haven't done it. Once you do it,
it is important. Can I tell you why?
yeah,
It leaves an imprint. Is that it's like the first time this guy, he looked at me and he said, I was probably 24 years of age. And I was a young speaker, and he looked at me. He was a wealthy guy, and he goes, "You about a size 42, your jacket?" I go, "I'm not sure." He goes, "I think you are." And he goes, "Try this jacket on." And he gets up and he puts on this Armani
oh my god,
jacket on me.
oh my god,
And he goes, "That looks good on you. Keep it." It changed me,
totally,
because
totally.
once I felt that fit.
Totally.
Once I felt that fit, okay? So when you touch those things, here's a Tim Storey saying.
Yeah.
Once you touch the fire, you don't want to live in the smoke. No.
Yeah.
Once I touch the fire,
Yeah.
I don't want to live in the smoke.
Because you have it.
Yes.
It's called it's happiness. The Converse.
Yes.
The Levi's.
The Levi's.
Once you
Yes.
have the experience, and that's the problem with once you have something.
Yes.
A guy, Herb Chambers, told me he's owned, I don't know, 3 or 4 private jets.
Yeah.
I called him. I've been trying to get his business for 20 years, and
Yeah.
I was buying the first plane, and I called him up and said, "Hey, I need some advice." He called me right back. Never called me except over the plane. That's why I told Ryan Secco. I said, "Ryan, when you walk into a room, you're a pilot.
Yeah.
You're not the president of Cardone Enterprise, Cardone Capital."
Yes.
He's like, "Well, no. Why, we're at a real estate event. Be a pilot.
Yes.
Nobody here is one.
Oh yeah.
You have an advantage.
Oh yeah.
Everybody wants to know what it's like to fly a big plane. Okay, be a pilot." So anyway, Herb says, "Hey man, let me just tell you. Well, I was getting ready to leave his office. He came to this country with nothing. He's worth $2 or $3 billion.
Wow.
I mean, literally nothing.
Yes.
And he said to me, he's like, "Hey, before you buy that plane, I just want to tell you something. He's like, didn't you kick a drug addiction?" I said, "Yeah, I sure did." He's like, "You can kick a drug addiction. You can never get rid of owning your own private aircraft."
Wow.
He says, "You'll never get rid of it. Once you got it, you're stuck with a plane."
Yeah.
Just because you want to roll like that.
It's like that Armani jacket, the feel,
Exactly.
it touches you.
Yes. And I thought you were going to tell me with favorite vacations. I didn't know about your Johannesburg.
Yeah, I mean, well, that was one of my favorites
What's another favorite?
I stayed in.
I'm looking for one right now that I know you did that I thought you loved.
I stayed in an amazing hut, and all that was great.
Yeah.
But
Marbella?
Oh, Marbella,
Dude, I
you rascal! That's my spot.
Yeah.
That's my
you
spot.
rascal.
That's
calls
my
you a
spot.
rascal.
So the Nobu people like me. I speak for the Nobu company, and they have a Nobu hotel in Marbella.
Yeah.
So they give me the suite there, and I speak to their staff, and they treat me like gold.
Yeah.
Something about Marbella, Spain, and Tim Storey work.
Yeah, I could feel it when you were there.
Yes.
I said he's comfortable there.
I was comfortable there.
Yeah.
And
some places, I go to, and,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I just feel like I belong.
see, you're good. You pulled Marbella out of me.
I know-
Marbella made me feel good. It had all
Yeah.
the international people.
Yeah.
And I like watching folks. So you see these guys like from Denmark or Holland or Sweden or different parts of Europe that
Yeah.
do super, super well because they got these,
Yeah.
private clubs you can go to. I learned a lot from Marbella.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yes.
When I flew into Dubai, we got in like at midnight, and midnight Dubai is like, it's still 104 degrees.
Yeah.
And I got off the plane, my feet touched the ground. I'm like, damn, I feel like I'm home. I felt so comfortable there.
Yes.
Yes. In the desert, in the heat. I don't know what it was. Okay, 3 things that people need to know today going forward in 2020 to turn this year around. And
Okay. So I think number 1 is you got to reflect on what you've been through already and how if you got through this, you can get through this. Okay. And so if you look at our background of what we've come through, if I made it through this, I could do this. So I got to go to the story I've told you before, David and Goliath. If I killed the lion, I killed the bear, I might be able to take down Goliath. Okay? So I always reflect on that.
Yeah.
So number
like
1,
that.
remember
we always survive.
Remember your
isn't that
doggone
the truth?
past successes. Okay. Number 2 is I go back to what I think you live out. You got to go back to your principles. Okay. What got me here? Go back to the
But
principles.
what if they've gotten nowhere?
Okay.
You're talking to me when I was 17. Man, I'm a little principle lost.
Then you need some new principles. Then
yeah.
you need to listen to Grant Cardone. You need to get his program. You need to get new principles. You need to meditate and renew your mind.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So you need to reflect on what you've been through.
Yeah.
Principles, and then here's number 3. You got to have this, or you're finished. The power of partnership. You got to have people
I love that.
that have strength.
Yeah.
You gotta be.
Yeah.
But
I
strength.
think too many people, Tim, are trying to do it on their own.
Yes, they're isolating and getting their butts kicked.
Yeah, yeah.
You got to have the power of partnership of somebody who's stronger than you in an area where you're struggling.
Yeah.
And sometimes if like men, like I'm reading your moods sometimes. There's times to really like mix it up with you, and there's times just to leave you alone and just let you do your job, and then we mix it up.
Yeah.
But part of our strength together is sometimes going to be just being in the same room.
Yeah, yeah.
And just being quiet.
Yeah.
But you can feel that somebody's with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Does that make sense?
100%.
Yeah. So the power of partnership is a must.
Yeah.
And I'm not just doing this to promote the 10X family, but I believe that the 10X family does give people the power of partnership.
1,000%.
It is a community.
It is not about me.
It is a community, and it's a movement.
Yeah, 10X is a movement.
It is.
And 10X will go on after I'm not around anymore. People will be like, hey, I want a 10X. I want to multiply, because people know that adding and subtracting is not working.
Yeah.
It's too slow. It's what they're taught in school. It's just never going to get a kid out of a neighborhood.
Right.
You got to multiply. And that's the
But I'm glad that you work out, because you're going to be doing this a long time.
You think so?
Yeah, Barry.
I saw some guy the other day, 82 years old. I'm like, dude, I told Lane, I said, I got 20 years. And she's like, oh, please.
Barry Gordy's 90, the guy who created Motown.
Yeah.
And
he's still rolling?
Oh, he looks great too.
Does he?
He's a great friend of mine.
Does
yeah.
he? Does he walk slow though?
No, he walks strong and fast. And
Yeah,
one time he said,
that.
he goes, hug me so you can feel my back. And the reason he said that, because he works out. He's 90 and he feels strong.
Yeah.
That's how we're going to be.
I hope so. Tim Storey, love you, man.
Love you.
You're my brother.
Brothers.
And I appreciate you. I totally get who you are. Maybe me and you'll go on a safari one day.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm here to tell you, you're brilliant. Come on, your life's about to be magical. You're about to do something more amazing. Clap your hands if you actually believe that. Say believe, expect, receive, become. Say release. Everywhere you go, to your family, all over this world, we are going to release miracles to this world.